don't feel like I was, at where I wanted to be. I missed so much. Felt like I missed so much. So I'm not trying to put too much weight on my shoulders by doing too much coming back. So just want to get back in the groove, help the team win, and keep the streak going so we get in.
What was the toughest part about sitting out?
Losing. Nobody likes losing. I don't like losing. I think when you go in a funk, it don't just affect the guys on the field, it affect everybody around you. So coming back in the locker room, energy ain't changed. It's just we know what we facing this year. We know all the adversity we face with the quarterback situation. James getting hurt, Taysom playing through a lot. Trevor's just like, gotta stay focused. Like the moment you get sidetracked and not focus on your job, I think that's when you lose your grit and your passion for the game, like you said.
Was that as long as you ever sat out, and what did you kind of do with it?
It's so crazy. I never been hurt before. That was the first time I ever been out. Like, I don't think I missed a football game since last year with Carolina, but it's pretty durable. So it hurts, but to be with my teammates again for the next 4 or 5 weeks, got to embrace the time we got, because like you said, we're trying to get to that dance. We're trying to get there.
What did you do with yourself? A lot of guys say they kind of feel isolated when they're going through rehab and everybody else.
I was yelling at the TV screen every game. Like, I feel that I played it. It's like, I don't watch a lot of football, but I don't watch us. So watching us and seeing us go through the struggles is just like, I know who we really are, and it hurt because you know how much them guys care. So that don't just hurt me because I'm all about the team. So when I came back, I just felt like the care, the love, and the passion got to just get back in. I'm saying it was lost, but just got to get that grit back and get back into the routine.
You guys always played Tampa really well. What is it just about that matchup that seems like you guys are the one team that kind of gets Brady confused, making mistakes?
He's the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks all the time. So you got to – it's not about X's and O's with him sometimes. It's about understanding the preparation you got to go into the game, because you got to think about it. This guy can call your bluff from 3 hours before the game. And you don't want nobody calling your bluff for the game, so you got to make sure you prepare so when you step on the field, like you said, you can keep him on his toes, keep him on the edge, because if he can pick you apart like that, it's going to be a long night. And we just want to make sure a quarterback like him, like you said, you got to just be on your game. Just be prepared and ready to face what you got to face on Sunday. You do your job.
How different do they look from October?
They look, they're a solid team. They're pretty good. It's all the way around. So we got to just go in there with our head focused. Like you said, all the talking ain't going to win you the game. Obviously, y'all seen it, so got to go out there, play first quarter, fourth quarter.
What is it about these when you all play them, though? It seems like it's a very emotional game. Both sides.
Y'all know why it's emotional.
No, why?
Y'all know why it's emotional. Y'all know why. You don't just come in this league thinking you can beat everybody. So to actually get a greater challenge in our division and somebody that can, I think it's great. I think that emotion is just more so passion to winning the football game. It ain't animosity. I think everybody's out there to win. So if it is, it's just you gotta focus on what you can focus on. And I think that's what our main goal this week is. Like, we know it's at stake. We ain't worried about outside noise. We just worry about what's going on for Sunday, today.
You seem like you would like playing in games like this, just the way you're wired.
I've been like that since I was a kid. You can go back to my high school days. I played against one of probably the best competitions growing up. So just playing against the best quarterback, one of the best receiving corps, hearing people saying which defense is better, it makes you want to step up. You want to be the best you can be. And that's what I'm striving for. And I know that's what my teammates striving for. I don't know about the other side. Like I always tell y'all, I'm focused on winning ball games and being the best.
Going back to that last question, how do you out-prepare a guy that's been running the same system for like 20 years?
Man, you just focus on you. And when you do your job, I think that's what a lot of teams get misconstrued. Don't do nobody else's job. Do what you can do. Do what you can do is all you can do, and they can help your team. That's what the teams draft people for, sign people for. That's why I feel like Coach Payton brought me here to do, just do my job. And I think everybody here on the team, they got the same attitude. That's why I think every time we play them, we know what's at stake. We know what we got to do.
Is there like an element of just kind of like waiting on your moments with him too? Like PJ was sitting on like one route the whole game, got out in the last play, gets the pick six. Is that kind of what you
like the vets say? You gotta know who plays is to make it, and that was his play to make. You can't try to go make somebody else play. I think just being there and doing like you said, doing your job, I think it's gonna be a good one Sunday. I just feel too good being back and ready, feet up under me.
How far is your hometown from Tampa?
30 minutes, 40 minutes to an hour. So it's really emotional for me.
Getting a lot of requests.
I don't go home a lot, so people understand this game more personal to me than anything.
So you guys are like 11-point underdogs in this game.
I don't care if we're 100. What that mean?
You all,
We're underdogs last game. What that mean?
you all won a lot of games when you're underdogs.
This group won a lot of games as underdogs. Before I got here, this group was winning football games. So underdog is just the word, because a lot of underdogs take out the big dog.
Do you expect, like what happened, there was like a little bit of excitement on the field at the end of the last time you played these guys, it seemed like, does that carry over?
No.
You know, it's all forgotten?
It don't carry over.
Doesn't
It don't bother me.
Yeah.
It don't take me out of my element. I am who I am.
Did you ever figure out why was Leonard so riled up at the end of that game? Is that something you have a feel for or can discuss?
Next question.
Okay.
How much did you want that interception last week? First game back. I thought you had it for a second.
You can see the energy on the team. It's just some. I bring that different fire to the team. That's how I feel. And it's gonna be like that until I die. Yep.
Do you think any baby goats this weekend?
I'm pretty catching a lot of them.
Have a good day.
What is it about this matchup that you guys seem to play them so well, and you seem to be like the one team that kind of makes Tampa make mistakes? And
Yeah, I mean, I think, we're in a division, so we're very obviously familiar with the style of play. I think we match up well from a personnel standpoint in coverage and against the run. So I just think we're built to match up well against this team. It's always been really good games. And we always feel pretty solid about our game plan going into it. But, they're still a super talented team that you got to show up and win those matchups. But we feel like, obviously, over the last, few years that we match up well on paper.
Now, what have been your thoughts on Leonard Fournette? It looked like he really had a resurgence almost in his career.
Yeah. Well, I think, it's when you watch them play, there's certain games where Tom Brady and all of the receivers and Gronk and all these, they get kind of the attention because they can at any point in time spread it out and throw it all over the field. But when you see when there are games where if they're turning the game over, if they need to gain control of the game, they begin to start to run the ball into some of these split safety looks. And Leonard Fournette is downhill. He's running through tackles. He's finishing runs, falling forward. And that's keeping them ahead of the sticks, allowing them to slow the game down, get control over it. And especially late in games. So, and if we look back at the third time we played in playoffs last year, Leonard Fournette was a big part of the difference, why that game was different than the first two. And so, you can't put all your focus just on the pass game and Brady and the receivers because he's a guy who's coming on, especially late in the year when bodies are getting tired. He seems to be getting stronger and really becoming a bigger part of their offense.
So Leonard seemed to be, and I don't know how much you can really pay attention to other players like this, but you got your own stuff, but Leonard did seem to be languishing before he went there, and then they seemed to, do you have a sense of how they were able to play to his strengths and kind of cause him to?
Yeah, I don't know about before this, before he got to Tampa, but I think when you look at what they're doing, it's a nice compliment to his skill set, to be honest. He's not the workhorse. He's not having to run into, 9-man boxes because your quarterback can't throw the ball. And so with space, now all of a sudden this is the back that we've seen before. He was always the focus of the offense, so defenses were going to focus more on him. That's hard for a running back to get loose with. But in this offense, it's a great compliment that they have to their pass game to be able to have an interior run game, a back that can, still hit home runs if he does increase the defense. And like I said, seems to get stronger as the year and the game's going on.
Do you think Brady has a good feel for when the formations are favorable to get the ball to him, or?
Well, I would hope so. He's
Yeah.
been in the league for however long. I think he does know, what looks are good to run into, what looks are good to pass into. That's constantly a cat and mouse game that you got to play with him because he's patient enough, to run the ball for 3 or 4 yards over and over again, if that's what's going to win the game. So, for us, you can't come out and just play one thing. There's no such thing as making Tom Brady left-handed. He knows how to win and control the game based on whatever they need to win. So for us, we're going to have to be able to come out, start fast, probably make some adjustments, be able to hold up in the run game, but also hold up in the pass game and keep the ball in front of us.
Hey, Mac, with all these COVID cases breaking out around the league, has Sean put even more emphasis on just the importance of staying?
Well, yeah, I think everybody's kind of just alarmed, obviously with another variant coming out and things spreading, especially in the league. And there's a lot of debate going on, about testing frequencies and things like that. So until all of that gets settled, I think everybody's just kind of on a higher alert, being a little bit more careful. And that's not just here. You see that around the league. There's teams that players have put in their own mandates that they're putting masks on and things like that. So it's one of those things that everybody wants to make sure that you're available for your team to play in the games. We don't want to run into a situation where we have to postpone a game or cancel a game. That's really the worst case scenario, and we're trying to avoid that at all costs.
Malcolm, you all are very rarely underdogs. I mean, you all have been favored almost the whole time, probably even back to your Philly days.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to be a 11-point underdog in a game?
Well, I mean, I didn't know we were that far. I didn't know we were underdog until you said it, so I don't really pay attention to it. In Philly, I was used to being an underdog pretty much every year. I think we play better from that from that standpoint, to be honest. Especially this year with just the guys that we have. It's not. I think we've gotten used to that space of where we are, in the season and our record. You're going to be the underdog, but I think that takes all of the pressure off of us, right? Understanding that, we've got our own issues, but the one thing that we don't have to do is you don't have that fear of falling from the top when you're not up there, and so we got nothing to lose and everything to gain, and that's a good place to be at this point in the year.
Does Sean play into that at all? Like I remember reading at the Super Bowl. I don't know if you remember this or not. Maybe he didn't say, but I thought I read a quote where he said, "It's great when you're the underdog in a game and you think you've got the better team." Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it is good. When you feel like you can match up with your opponent and you're an underdog and all the pressure is on them to perform, it allows your preparation to be a little bit loose. You can come out and play without the fear of again having an upset or laying an egg. Not to say that Tampa's not going to be prepared, but for us, at least we don't have that cloud of pressure hanging over us. We just prepare, come out, nobody believes in us anyway. Go have fun and compete.
Is there anything to this rivalry why it's gotten so emotional in the game?
I think the talent between the two teams is as good as it's ever been, and whenever the talent rises, the competitiveness rises, the stakes rise, and so does the rivalry. So. We look at this division and the success we've had in the division for a long time. That's something that I know motivates Tampa and other teams in the division. But at the same time, Tampa being the Super Bowl champs last year, there's a lot on the line, at least from a prize standpoint. And then obviously playing twice a year just adds a little bit of fuel to it.
Do you remember much about the end of the last time you played them in the Dome? Like, what was the scene on the field? Or does that stuff ever carry over, even if it's 6 weeks later or whatever, or 7 weeks later?
You mean from this year?
Yeah.
I don't know. It had nothing to do with me, so not really. We played a lot of games since then. It was obviously a good win for us, but we'll see him again, obviously, this week.
Do you talk much on the field or not?
Not anymore. I used to. I'm trying to reserve all my energy at this point in my career.
CJ do it all.
Yeah, we got enough talkers on the team. I do a little bit, but we've got other delegates for that. All good?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
What are the challenges with this defensive front? It's pretty well respected around the league.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, I mean, they're probably one of the best front sevens in the league. They play the run really well, really stout with those big bodies on the interior. But then when you have to drop back and pass the ball, they're really good at getting to the quarterback and create pressures and getting after it. So it's definitely a challenge, but we're looking forward to it.
What's this whole year been like for you? It's got to be kind of like a whirlwind. At one point you're, I assume in your mind fighting to make the team, and then all of a sudden you're a regular starter. Yeah. It's got to be kind of weird to look back, even if you have had a chance to do that yet.
Yeah, I mean, from going all last year on the practice squad and getting those opportunities and stuff throughout camp, and eventually making the team this year, and then being thrust into the lineup basically from week one. It's been, I mean, it's honestly been a dream come true, but it's definitely come with a lot of challenges and a lot of growing pains for sure. Just getting those first few experiences in the league, but really embraced it. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been great having all the support from the guys around me and the coaches around me. So, it's definitely been a year of a lot of growth and fun, and just enjoying and trying to take advantage of it.
What are some of the things you've learned about yourself just with the increased opportunities?
I think it's just really kind of figuring out what my game's going to look like at this level, and what I can really take advantage of, both in the run game and pass protection, and I guess kind of just really finding out what I can be good at, and where some things that I can obviously still continue to improve on. And that's the biggest thing is taking this year and really looking at it and finding out where I can continue to improve and get better, and just focus on those things during the week and do what I can every week.
How much will that help you going into the offseason, just knowing exactly kind of what that path needs to be now?
I mean, I feel like it's vital, it's crucial, because you can improve on those things, but also take advantage of what you've done well, and really help just kind of self-reflect and analyze what you did during the year, what worked, what didn't, and be able to take that into your training and your programming in the offseason, and come back that much better once camp rolls around again.
What happened on that? I'm sorry. What happened on that screen pass with Kamara?
I mean, it's just trying to get out in space and find a blocker, and all of a sudden you find out that the running back's right behind you, and you end up in the way. But I mean, really just trying to get out in space and find somebody and block somebody and end up in the same spot.
Did you hear about it this week at all?
No, it's been great, and we're all looking forward to the next game and moving forward.
There was talk that there might be a fine involved. Alvin.
As far as I know, that hasn't happened. So.
What are the wins in the run game against this team? Because they don't obviously give up a lot of cash plays. What are the wins in the run game?
Yeah, it's taking those 2, 3, 4 yards pop and really commit to the run game and take advantage of the looks that they do give us when they present themselves, and using our different checks and stuff like that to take advantage of what they're giving us. And if we can get 3, 4 pop, then that's big for us. It's big for us, because then we get ahead of the sticks, and then we're looking at 3rd and 2 and 3, and whole offensive playbook is open at that point. So that's really what we're focusing on, first and second down efficiency, so we can get into those manageable third downs.
Did you get a sense of why they had their worst game against the run in the entire season last week, and what adjustments you would kind of expect them to be making against you guys?
I mean, I think probably what I would say is I feel like everybody kind of has those games, and sometimes it's just maybe it was a scheme that a team was taking advantage of, or just a certain look that you were having a tendency in. So I think it's just really sticking to our game plan and having full confidence in what we're looking at and what we're going to be doing in the run and pass game. So just continuing to look at what they're doing this week and seeing what we can take advantage of.
What changes for you guys when the QB takes deeper drops like Trevor and Taysom, as opposed to Jameis, who's a little bit shallow?
I mean, you kind of get keys depending on what the routes, what route combinations are in the huddle call, or the certain protections that are called, where we think they're going to be at, and so we can definitely kind of adjust how we're setting and adjust what our set patterns are going to look like, as an entire offensive line to account for that. And I think it's just making sure that quarterback's comfortable wherever they're at, and adjusting where we're, how we set and how we handle what they do on the edges.
We're good. That's it. Thank you, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
what was it like about Sean yesterday?
It was cool. I mean, he wasn't. I guess he wasn't feeling good. I think just like when player go down, it's the same thing goes down. Nielsen stepped up, led the team meeting and led practice, and all the other coaches kind of stepped up and filled the void. So he was back today. We ain't really get too much of it, but I'm sure the coaches will get it tonight when they go in there and game plan and probably be in there with him all night because he missed the day.
Alvin, do you relish playing against a team like this, a defense like this, when it's kind of their best against your best? Two upper echelon units, you against, not necessarily you, but
yeah. I see what you're saying. Now it's always fun. Like you like challenges like that sometimes because it's it's gonna be a battle the whole time. From first quarter to fourth quarter. So division opponent, of course. We play them so much, we're familiar. It's not really too much tricking each other. It's like it's a battle. It's gonna be a battle the whole time. So we're ready for it.
Is that the fun part of it, where there is no tricking?
That's
here's my best, here's your best.
Exactly. That's really what it is. It's like we line up and play. You know what I'm saying? And you at the end of those games, it's always like, dang, we won or they won. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, dang, we could have. To me, sometimes, most of the time, it's like either it's a clear winner and a clear loser. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a lot of fluke things going on, or it's like, nah, we should have got them. It's like, dang, they had us that game, or we had them that game.
Now, have you guys managed to be the clear winner in the last three regular season games? Which hadn't really been that close.
Yeah, man, I think just preparation. That's what you was asking. Like you said, how?
Yeah, have you guys managed to kind of be the team that had their number, so to speak?
I think just preparation and just coming out with energy and fighting, knowing that you kind of got to just stay true to what you do. It's not, like I said, not a bunch of trickery, not a bunch of gimmicky shit. It's just you go out there and play hard-nosed football and try to play 4 quarters and limit the mistakes. And when we make them make mistakes, we got to capitalize. That's kind of how that goes.
I think that you all as a 10.5 point underdog. Do you all, first of all, do you pay attention to that? But also, does it kind of put a chip on your shoulder now that you know that?
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that. I don't gamble, so I don't do nothing but shoot dice. I don't play with Vegas. I don't the point spreads and all that. I don't know nothing about that. But yeah, now that you telling me that, I guess for the people that's betting, they gotta kind of get creative on how they bet and how much they want to lose or how much they want to win. If you want to bet with us, then shoot, I guess you got to have some faith if we're an underdog, if that's what you stick by the point spreads. And if you want to bet against us, then if you lose, if we win, then you're going to lose all your fucking money. That's how I feel.
So last game you guys were in better against them. They have a pretty good run fun, obviously. You guys seem to run better against them than anybody. Until this past week when I think Josh Allen scrambled for a lot.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't have Taysom in the last game. Does that make you kind of curious or eager or just confident about what the running game could potentially do against these guys if you're on point?
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, I think we run the ball pretty well against this team, and I think that just comes from, and you could probably ask Mark, but personally, me, I feel like, you got to be okay with getting those 3-yard runs and those 4-yard runs, and sometimes it's 2-yard runs, but you can't get frustrated because I think, like I said, it's a 4-quarter game, so let the O-line settle in and keep bumping and keep fighting, and some of them runs end up popping, and that's why we run well against them, because we stay true to what we're doing. We don't try to create or make up things. So with Taysom, I think it adds another element, because you're not just looking at me, you're not just looking at Mark. Now you got to be aware of Taysom taking off, pulling the ball down on a pass play, on a play action, or a design QB run, or just anything. So that adds to the rushing attack. So I'm sure. I mean, they're a smart team. They're a smart group. I know they're aware of it, and I mean, I think it's anytime you have Taysom in there, it's an advantage for us. So we'll see how they stack up against it.
I saw a stat today that said you're seeing eight or more in the box on like 23% of your runs. The highest you've ever been was like 16.
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel that difference? Do you see that difference happen?
Not really. I just keep moving. Like I'll just try to make sure I'm on point with my reads and just keep going. Cause I mean, at a certain point, it all feel the same. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not one team that's gonna be like, oh well, Alvin's back there, we good. We could take somebody out the box, or we could put. I mean, I don't know. You just gotta play. You gotta play. Like I just kind of try to stay true to my reads and use my eyes and keep my feel the same. Like try not to trick myself or kind of play myself out of what I'm seeing. Like, you know, I just try to keep it all natural and just flow. So 8 in the box, 10 in the box, whatever. I don't know.
It's got nothing to do with nothing.
There we go. That's what I'm like. That's what I fucking.
Where'd you learn to shoot dice?
Where'd I learn how to shoot dice? Growing up. That's what we did. Cause I wasn't like I ain't go to a casino until I got to New Orleans. Honestly, I went to Harrah's. I tried to play blackjack, lost my money. So I was like, that's not it. I'm not doing that no more. Then, I mean, that's what me and my friends do. Like, we shoot dice. So that's my speed.
But they ain't got the money to be playing with you.
That's why I play in the locker room and take everybody's money. So you can ask Deontay, ask all them. When them dice come in the locker room, what happens? Yeah, hey, I'll come light, and then I'll just take everybody else's money. Or if it's heavy, then I'll come heavy. No, good. Cool. What's up, Rob?